Welcome to DeKalb Talks Tourism. Today we have two guests with us from Plaza Fiesta in the city of Chamblee. Plaza Fiesta, of course, is in the city of Chamblee. I'd like to welcome Gio Garcia,
That's me.
marketing director with Plaza Fiesta.
Correct.
And then we also have Joshua Duarte.
Correct.
Did I get that right?
Yep.
Program coordinator with the city of Chamblee. So welcome. We're glad you all are on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And
We're excited to be here. Excited to chat.
So to open up a little bit, tell us a little bit about each of yourselves, and then we'll get diving into Plaza Fiesta.
Well, I'm Gio Garcia. I'm a journalist. I'm an actor as well. And I developed my career in media for 16 years. And now I transitioned to the acting world and the marketing world. And that's how I ended up working for Plaza Fiesta.
Oh, nice. We'll get back to that in just a second.
My name is Joshua Duarte. Professionally, I'm the Cultural Affairs Program Coordinator for the city of Chamblee. On a personal level, I am a Atlanta, Georgia native, born and raised a couple miles away from Chamblee. So I've always called DeKalb County my second home because my parents and we always came to DeKalb County to shop for ethnic foods, ethnic clothing, anything you can think of, because DeKalb County has it all. So it's a full circle moment to be working for the city of Chamblee and, helping DeKalb County families.
And you're the only one I've ever met in the world that's a native of Atlanta.
I am a true native, born and raised Atlanta, Georgia since 1999.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a local in my heart because I was born and raised in Venezuela. That's where I'm originally from. And I came to the States back in 2012. Looking for a better, future.
That's what I'm saying. Why did you come?
Well, it's a very complex story, but due to political problems in my country and due to my career as a TV journalist, it was really hard for me to stay in my country. And at some point, my life was in risk, and that's basically why I decided to move to the land of freedom. And I came here. This country has been amazing, not only to me, but also to my family. And the first city, when I first moved to the States, it was Atlanta. My best friend was already living here, and he opened the doors of his home for me. He helped me a lot. And since then, I also lived in Chicago for work, but I decided to come back to Atlanta because warmer, yeah. The weather is so much better, and I feel that I belong here, and I love Georgia in general. So that's why I decided to move back.
So let's get into just quickly. What are we going to know you on as an actor?
Because I am an actor.
I know, but what would we see you on?
Film and television.
Well, what movie or what TV show?
Well, right now I'm still auditioning. I've been in different indie projects and in a pilot show for a TV series called Blind Trust that I think the name's going to be changed for the Cartel's Lawyer.
Okay.
Also, I had a participation in an indie film called The Border Baby that is about to be released this year. And another project for HBO for the Latino Film Festival called Estrella. And
cool.
I keep going and
great.
insisting and auditioning because, as you can imagine, the acting industry, it's very complex and sometimes it's really hard. But I keep auditioning and I try to put myself out there and keep looking for opportunities.
Well, this is interesting because your history of how you came here and all. Just yesterday, I presented us doing a documentary on Buford Highway. And the board has approved, so we've just commissioned a TV production company. We're going to do the history, the cultural history, the international, why it became Buford Highway, the international corridor. So we're actually going to be working on that in Plaza Fiesta.
That's
of
great.
course, is on
come
Buford
to Plaza.
Highway.
You will turn a lot of stones with that. I promise you, the history is extensive and it's fantastic.
Well, I just learned yesterday, actually, that the Cuban restaurant on Buford Highway is the very first international restaurant there.
Oh, wow. You don't say.
Yeah, I just learned that. And then with the Refugee Act started bringing in Asian refugees opening up because we have so many Asian restaurants, whether it's Vietnamese,
Oh yeah.
Chinese, Korean.
Have you guys been in Lee Bakery?
Yes.
So good. The food is amazing.
From what I learned when we were doing a little bit of because I'm the Cultural Affairs Program Coordinator for the City of Chamblee, so I was doing my research when I first got on board, and there's a large influx of Cambodian immigrants back in the days, so that's why a lot of there's obviously the Asian influence in the City of Chamblee. But then with the Olympics in '96, they needed everything to be built quickly, so they started bringing individuals in from parts of Latin America, especially in Mexico, to Atlanta to build the Olympics, for Atlanta to host the Olympics, and they found housing along Buford Highway, and that's the reason why, I guess, the '96 Olympics was the catalyst for the boom on Buford Highway is what I learned.
So we've got to add that to the story. I just learned a little bit yesterday on the timeline, because we knew we wanted to do Buford Highway because it is the international corridor. It is food and culture, shopping. It's got all of that there. But I just never knew why, because you had to have a reason why it's so international. So between the two things that we learned, and now you're talking about how the Hispanic group population came into Atlanta. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to tie this into, tell us about Plaza Fiesta.
Oh, Plaza Fiesta is amazing.
So why is it there? Do you know why it's there?
It was previously it was first it was like an outlet mall from the beginning, and later it was an Oriental mall.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And later, the very end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000s, was, transformed into what we know right now as Plaza Fiesta. And we're not only built with immigrants, Hispanic immigrants effort, but also Asian. We have tenants that they are Asians, and our clientele is very diverse. Not only Hispanic, but also African Americans, Asian people that they go to our property because they feel like it's something different to them, very unique, and that's how we feel it. It's if you have you been in Latin America before?
I've only been in Mexico. Nuevo Laredo.
Okay. When you go to Plaza Fiesta, you feel like you are walking into a Latin American street market. It's the same thing, the same concept. We actually have in the middle of the plaza, we have our fountain. And it looks like the fountains that you can find in Mexico in those street markets or in a square. So it's very unique. The food is amazing. Mexican food, Central American food, and now we have seen the growth from other demographics. Like now there are Venezuelans like me that are here, and we have a restaurant which is Venezuelan food, and it's very delicious. So we have a little bit of everything, and we embrace our cultural roots.
Very cool.
Well, I was just going to say that I think it's a one-stop shop for anything, whether it be clothing, food, jewelry, exports from your home country. I know that was my mom's biggest attraction when we were younger. We would go there because she would always have this longing for a special treat or a certain type of food or certain coffee. And so we couldn't find that at your traditional Kroger, Publix. And so we would go there. Obviously, it would take us a little bit longer to get there from where we were living. But I think just seeing the joy of her having that little piece of home and Plaza Fiesta being able to give it to her by one of the vendors was just a heartwarming thing to see as a child. And now, as an adult, I still do the same thing. Sometimes I feel like I want a certain spice, or sometimes I need to send money to my family in Mexico, and they have people that do that at Plaza Fiesta as a vendor, or we just want to try something different. And like Gio said, there's Venezuelan food vendors, there's Guatemalan food, and all Hispanic food is different in their own way, and I think it's a one-stop shop. You don't have to travel to Latin America. You can save that flight and just go to Plaza Fiesta and just get everything there to an extent.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we want to talk about as a tourism perspective. If you're not from Central America, South America, from Mexico, from any of the countries, you get that flavor.
Yes.
The food, the culture, the look, the feel. And like you said, you can come right here to Chamblee, DeKalb County, and have that
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, a lot of people that probably they haven't been able to go to these Latin American, South American countries, and when they are there at Plaza, it's like they are experiencing our flavors, the way that, because in the end it's culture, it's the way that we live. That's where you're gonna find if you go to Plaza Fiesta. The fact that we're really warm people, that we really connect easily with other people, regardless, where you're from, and I think that makes Plaza Fiesta very, very unique, and no passport is needed, so you can experience that.
No passport, no visa.
Exactly.
Yep.
So the one thing you hit upon that hits close to my heart is coffee. So is there some good coffee places in Plaza Fiesta?
We have a really amazing bakery called Exquisito Bakery.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't been there, please do yourself a favor and go there. They have really good coffee, but also they have really good pastries from our countries, and they celebrate our culture in the sense, like, for example, if it's Dia de Muertos, they do Pan de Muerto. When it's at the beginning of January, they have Roscas de Reyes. They're really, really good. And also they have, aguas frescas. They're very important in Mexico.
Yep.
It's an ice cream that is really good. And the tres leches. Do you like tres leches, the cake? That is really wet with different milks,
Oh, yes, I
condensed
do.
milk.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
The best cake of tres leches, you can find it there. This is not advertising, but it's really good. Every time I have my birthday, I go there and I get my cake for my birthday. Yeah, it's really good.
Well, the other thing to touch base on is, I learned this from the mayor. Talk a little bit about the Guatemalan culture in Chamblee.
Yeah, perfect. Actually, I just had a meeting with the mayor and the consulate general of Guatemala maybe about 2 weeks ago, and I learned a little bit of history about why there's such a big, heavy population of Guatemalans in our community. I didn't get the full background, but I think a large part has to do with it that the Guatemalan consulate is in Chamblee. Thus, the people feel comfortable because if the consulate is comfortable laying their head in the city, the rest of the community will follow. And he let us know that there's two different groups of people that from Guatemala that live in our city. And they all live in community. So one group lives on Chamblee, Dunwoody, and the other group lives elsewhere. And it's just, again, it has to do with the boom of the 96 Olympics, and they saw Hispanics living in the area. So as Hispanics, if one Hispanic has already built their future there, people will be like, okay, I can do it there as well. And then they come and they bring the entire family. And on Chamblee, Dunwoody, I think we have the largest concentration of Guatemalan ran businesses. You have a lot of restaurants, you have clothing shops, you have whatever it might be. And it's interesting because the general consulate told us that they are very protecting of their traditional language. So in Guatemala, they still speak a lot of native tongues, and they brought that over to the United States, especially to Chamblee. And now you have children that are not bilingual; they're trilingual. They speak Spanish, English, and their native tongue. And so it's fascinating to see that's getting passed down from generation to generation.
So what would a native tongue of Guatemala, what is that language called?
The dialects?
The dialects, sorry. I really can't pronounce it,
Okay.
but I know the general consulate told us that there's 3 strong dialects in the city of Chamblee, because 2 or 3 different communities came from Guatemala to create their future in Chamblee. And we as a city, we're we're welcoming to all, and we're fascinated that they chose our city to be there. And so that's why we try to do as much as we can for that community. And we have partnerships with a local Guatemalan nonprofit that helps us, get into that community. Because I know sometimes, unfortunately, there may be some disconnect between government and the communities because of whatever's happened in their home country. But we want to make them aware that we're welcoming to all. And so through those nonprofits, through those connections and those stakeholders in the community, that's how we talk to them. That's how we talk to the community. And since we have created my position, the cultural affairs position, I think we've seen a positive return of our investment, because we have more Latinos and Hispanics coming to our events, showing interest in our community meetings, and just, being out on city hall property or just city property, exploring the green space, coming downtown, and also that, and due to the improvements in the walkability in the arts and all that good stuff, it attracts everybody. Right. So it's gonna snowball effect, and so we're very happy about that. But the Guatemalan community is as strong as the Mexican community and other Latin communities in Chamblee, and is hopefully in DeKalb County as well.
And we see that in Plaza Fiesta at the very beginning, when I wasn't working for Plaza. I thought only, the majority of the demographic was only Mexican. But now that I've been working there for a few, I realize that the Guatemalan community is so strong. We have tenants that they have these amazing dresses, like very authentic dresses, and things from their culture. And you can hear, when you walk through the plaza, different dialects, and they don't feel, this is another good thing about Plaza Fiesta. Different cultures coexist, and nobody feel that if you speak your language, like Spanish, or you have a specific dialect, they are not afraid to express themselves. Nobody's going to judge. Nobody's going to discriminate. And that's one of the wonderful things that we have there, that you can be yourself, you can represent your culture, and everybody's welcome. So it amazed me, the fact that you can hear those dialects not only from Guatemala but Bolivia, Peru, and they dress like they do in their countries, and it's beautiful.
So that's one thing we love about DeKalb, and we're trying to promote from the tourism perspective, is the welcoming part of DeKalb, welcoming part of Chamblee, the international diversity that we have in Chamblee and all through DeKalb County. So would it be a more fair representation, instead of saying Plaza Fiesta is a Mexican market, to say Plaza Fiesta is an Hispanic or a Latin American market?
Yeah, Hispanic, definitely.
I would even say worldwide market. Because I think, who knows, we can say that now, but in the future, who knows if you'll have different tenants. And so
yes.
I think Plaza Fiesta embodies,
it's very open to,
embodies an open-minded concept where anybody is welcome to be a vendor, to be a shop, to bring their families and create memories, like my mom used to do with me. And now I hold great memories of Plaza Fiesta when I was a kid. I still have those pictures, and so it's, like I said, it's a full circle moment to see Plaza Fiesta from when I was a young boy to now, and see how much improvement and how people, long-standing clients and vendors that have made their futures there.
Most of them, they started like mom and pop business, and now they have passed those businesses to the new generations, like their kids, their grandkids, and it's amazing to see the growth of those families. That they probably started their businesses from the ground up, and now they are very successful, and they are just generating good things for the economy, and supporting their families.
You keep going. I lost track of what I wanted to say. So one of the reasons why we talked in the beginning is that we're doing the documentary on Beaufort Highway. It's not just to figure out why is it international. The other part is to have it completed by the end of the year for promotion of FIFA World Cup, to get to be a promotion to tell the people coming from the world and the United States. We don't want to forget all the United States people coming, Canadian people, South American people, but anybody from the world coming to Atlanta, we want to get them to know about Buford Highway, to know about our great cities over here. And one of the hooks, we think, is the fact that it is the cultural international highway, cultural food, cultural shopping. And so we want this documentary to be able to tell people to come to DeKalb. The other thing we're doing is we're going to do a soccer docudrama on the refugee soccer, different history of soccer, the MARTA connection with soccer in the streets. So we're doing that documentary at the same time. And then I just recently found out we're doing a boxing documentary. What I did not realize is 65% of the boxers are Hispanic Latin Americans. And I didn't realize that. So we have a huge boxing event twice a year. So we're doing a documentary for that will fit. And he gets people from all across the world coming in for this boxing event. So we have these 3 different niche markets trying to get people to come here to visit during World Cup.
And boxing in general, from for our countries is very important. Like I remember growing up watching those boxing events, and now in lucha libre, now they're coming more to Atlanta and Georgia in general to promote the culture that you guys have in Mexico. That is very interesting because they use masks and it's very colorful the way they dress in order to be boxing and or doing the lucha libre.
Yeah, that's correct. I think it's another type of art in motion per se. The way that the masks are decorated, the tights, sometimes they come out in floral dressings, traditional representation of their past, the Aztec, the Mayan, wherever the individual was from, the warriors of back then. And so it's just homage to where they come. And I think it's a great way to see the kids react when they come out, because they get influenced and they think they put a picture to culture essentially. And I'm just excited to have those sports come to DeKalb County. And I think the FIFA World Cup is going to be a great way to, just tell people about what DeKalb County is and why it's such a big hub. And I think 2025 is bringing the Club World Cup, so it's bringing an influence of people from all over the country, and then we get a second shot at it again. So if we don't get it right the first time, we'll get it right the second time, because the FIFA World Cup is going to be bigger than the Club World Cup. Oh yeah, it's going to be fantastic. So I'm excited to see what DeKalb County has in store for its people that are coming in to see it.
We are already working on that. I cannot disclose too much, but we are working on for the World Cup and see what we can do in order to to bring more people and the new generations to Plaza Fiesta and enjoy about football and soccer. And it's going to be a great opportunity for Georgia in general to showcase the good things that we have to offer to the international visitors.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because we've actually formed a group called the DeKalb Global Sport Advisory Board. And it's set up specifically to get more activities, more events, more notoriety of DeKalb to the world. Also, we're going to be meeting actually later today with PDK to have meetings, because a lot of these big clubs fly into PDK and they don't know they're in Chamblee, they don't know they're in DeKalb. They think they're in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So we're going to be trying to look at doing a more welcoming piece for the 3 fixed base operators and NetJet and Wheels Up, and then try to do other campaigns to let people know PDK is ours, not Atlanta's. It's Atlanta's too, but it's in DeKalb.
Yeah.
So this committee is set up specifically to try to bring all of DeKalb into the limelight of FIFA Club Cup and FIFA World Cup.
It's going to be very convenient. Choose the location of the airport itself.
Yeah. So tell us, do you have any big events you want to talk about?
We have tons of events every year, and actually we're working the Atlanta United Watch Party with the city of Chamblee. It's going to be our third edition. Working in this event together, and it's a great opportunity for our community because not only our visitors have the chance to see or watch the game in big screen, but also we're having a huge community fair to let them know that there are so many resources they can take advantage of. Actually, Josh works coordinating the community fair, and we also have different options like entertainment. We have inflatables, we have food trucks, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, like Gio said, it's our third annual resource fair, and last year we tried to be intentional with our planning, so we hosted that event last year during Hispanic Heritage Month to pay homage to the immigrant community and the Hispanic community in particular. This year we moved it up to March just because timing, and all the events that Plaza Fiesta and the city of Chamblee has respectively on their own. The resource fair or the community fair is we try to add to the one-stop shop feel of Plaza Fiesta, but in terms of resources and community feel. So, for example, we're having a clinic that's doing free testing on site, free vaccines, anything that these communities may be needing, but can't be able to afford or don't have the time to go and take all their kids at once. They can get that done at our event. We have resource nonprofits from our nonprofit partnership program that the city of Chamblee hosts, and they're going to come and give information and educate our community members. And it's just a way to get or to invite the people from Chamblee and DeKalb County that haven't had the opportunity to visit Plaza Fiesta for whatever reason to feel comfortable enough to be in community, come to our event, but also explore what's inside. I think that's the biggest priority for us is to get more people from the outside at a city partnered event with Plaza Fiesta to, hey, check out what's Plaza Fiesta. This is in my opinion, it's a gem, and it's a key building in our community, and I hope it remains that way.
And even when we are a real estate business, we really care about our community, and we have these type of events, but also we're always partnering with different entities, nonprofits, DeKalb County, to bring resources to our community. During the COVID, during the pandemic, we had multiple vaccination fairs. We're always working with different organizations. We bring food drives to the property like every quarter, thanks to the DeKalb County. So we are seen and feel as a community center because we really care about our community. We really care about our people. And sometimes we are a bridge between our community and the government and the entities that are supposed to bring those tools and resources to the people that are in need. So we are always working on that, and we have multiple events. We're having Cinco de Mayo celebration on May 4th. May the 4th be with us.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
So we're bringing, a lot of artists. Grupo Voz de Mando, which is a very famous music group from Mexico, is going to be the headliner. And we're already working on that because it's a big event. It's free admission. Everyone can join us. And it's a family-oriented event for 7 hours. We're partnering this event with Telemundo Atlanta. So they're bringing talent from the network, and we're going to have live music contest, really good food, and it's going to be a great party. And we have back-to-school event to bring resources and school supplies to our families. We have fiestas in September for the Hispanic Heritage Month. Fiestas Patrias. We celebrate the Mexican Independence Day. We partnered that event with the General Consulate of Mexico. So the comes to the event and do the official ceremony for the cry for the grito de independencia, and so we're always working in different events to bring really good and family-oriented entertainment to our community.
So if someone wants to find out when all these events are, what's coming, where do they find information about it?
If you go to plazafiesta.net, in our website, we have everything up to date, the different events that are coming up, because we have signature events, 12 signature events every year. They are very well known into our community, but yeah, we're always trying to get more people from other communities that probably don't know. We have been doing this type of events for 21 years so far. They're always very successful, and people really love these events. And also our social media, like Plaza Fiesta Atlanta on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We're always posting. We're very, very active on social media because we know that the new generations consume social media. So every time we have an event, we promote it on social media, TV, radio, and other platforms to reach more audience every day.
Well, question, I'm talking to a marketing firm in Brazil, and they just did an audit and a dashboard for our social media, Google marketing, but we were talking about WhatsApp, that in Europe and South America, WhatsApp is not used the way we use it in America. It's a major tool of communication and purchasing and booking and things. Do you all communicate with WhatsApp to your constituents?
We do not. Not yet. I know that, coming from Latin America, I know that, WhatsApp can be very powerful, especially between family members and friends. That's the way that you communicate. You can be in Venezuela or maybe in Mexico, and you don't send regular text message. You use WhatsApp. I don't know. It's easier. You can send more, pictures and video in a easier way. But yeah, we are not using right now WhatsApp, but I know that it's a powerful tool in other countries to do advertising and do marketing. You just click in a link and immediately you go to a WhatsApp number and they take care of you depending on your needs. Or
I was just curious because we were looking at it pretty seriously. Curious to see if that was something you're using.
Yeah, no, the city of Chamblee, we don't use that. However, our nonprofits, they use that a lot because of the communities. They already have, the app has built rapport in the communities, so it's easier for those nonprofits to send information, events, volunteer opportunities. There's going to be a food drive here at X time at X location. So the app has built a great rapport with the communities, so they just use that interface to talk to the public, and I think it's worked great for them. And whenever we need to push something out immediately, or like, hey, here's an event that might benefit the community, we send it to our nonprofits, and they send it to that. They also use other different avenues for the schools. They use a different app where the parents are connected, and so multiple ways, multiple avenues.
Yes.
We try to hit all of them.
we do OTT. We do digital campaigns with different, providers, because at least in my field, from the marketing perspective, I need to talk to my audience, right, to invite them to come to Plaza Fiesta and the other communities that probably don't know, which is really hard, but probably there are people that don't know about Plaza Fiesta. But also I try to talk to, business owners and decision makers, especially for our events, when we are looking for sponsors for the event. So we use, OTT in Spanish and in English, business to business, and we have commercials in Spanish, the generic one that runs on TV, and OTT in Espanol, and also OTT in English for the, for business owners.
So where would you say your closest version of Plaza Fiesta would be? How far or how many states do you all cover?
It's very interesting because every Friday we get so many calls from people that are in Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, and they just want to make sure that we're open because they want to take the trip,
Make the trip.
and come here, make the trip and come here and find what they're looking for. So we're very proud to say that those events, those neighboring states like Tennessee, South Carolina, Alabama, North Carolina, they're always
I heard
looking-
you all
yeah,
drew from quite a few states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the Chinatown is the only Chinatown in the Southeast in Chamblee.
And that's what I was gonna say. That's like the only. That's like probably the sister closest thing relative to Plaza Fiesta I can think of, and that's only not even 5 minutes away. So
Yeah.
I mean, we have two, in my opinion, two big landmarks in DeKalb County inside the city of Chamblee, and so I'm just fascinated that they're there, and I hope they remain there. Yeah. Because I'm sure the same way that people from all over different states come to Plaza Fiesta, I'm sure it's the same way for Atlanta Chinatown Mall, and they also have their own signature events and all that good stuff. So it's just exactly like a copy and paste Plaza Fiesta.
Yeah. There is this organization I love, Buhai.
We love Buford Highway. Mhm.
We love, exactly. It's amazing the support they give to the Asian businesses and in general the whole Buford corridor. But Lily,
Mhm.
she is the one that runs that organization, and she's so lovely, and she cares deeply for our community in Buford Highway, and of course to serve her Asian community. So
Yeah, they're a great organization.
Yes,
She's
amazing.
done a phenomenal job.
yeah.
Yeah. Do y'all have any closing stories you want to present?
Well, if I may, for the city of Chamblee, like we have, like same with Geo, our signature events sometimes travel, and we don't stay at city property. For example, we go to Plaza Fiesta for the same reasoning that I mentioned earlier. That Plaza Fiesta has built a rapport with the community, so people feel comfortable going there. And the same way we with a lot of our city partner events, where we go out and look for organizations or businesses that already have established events, so we don't reinvent the wheel. We just go and partner with them, sponsor them, get in the planning phases and all that good stuff. But like Plaza Fiesta, we have a full calendar open for everybody. The DeKalb County residents are more than welcome to come. Our information is on the ChambleeGeorgiaGA.gov or on our Facebook page, our Instagram. We have a summer concert series that goes from June, July, August. We have a Taste of Chamblee in October. We participate in the Atlanta Pride Parade, and then we're bringing back our holiday hoopla in December. And then we also have throughout the fall months watch parties at City Hall with the big jumbo screen for any college football fans that are interested. And just had to put my 2 cents in there.
Oh, yeah. Glad you did.
Yeah.
In my case, I just would like to say that we are very thankful for our community, for their resilience, and that, just to let them know that we really care about them. We're part of the same community. We're immigrants. We're, people from Latin America, and we're immigrants. So we really care about them. We work every day to provide them a really good customer service. We try to, highlight our culture, our roots, our core values, and we want to preserve them every day. Let them know that everyone is welcome at Plaza Fiesta, no matter where you're from, what language do you speak. Everyone is welcome, and our community is wonderful. Our tenants are amazing, and we're very blessed because of that. And we keep working on get better every day.
So let me ask you all, in addition to, of course, telling people to come to Plaza Fiesta, what's the other place if somebody asks you, what's the 2 must-see in DeKalb or in Chamblee? Plaza Fiesta we know is one. What's the other place you would want to tell someone that's a must-see?
I don't think it's just one location.
That's
I
fine.
think
Multiple.
throughout DeKalb County, in my opinion, the art installations, the public art, I think it's grown tremendously in the past 10, 20 years. Even as I was a child, I could remember the art installations, but now I think it's just something that's picking up steam and moving faster than well, it's not faster than people wanted, but I think it's at the pace people wanted to. So I think just traveling through DeKalb County, traveling through Beaver Highway, traveling through Chamblee, I urge people to stop, take a look, and take it all in, because it's not just public art, it's a story.
Yes.
Whether it be the story of the painter or the artist, or if they did a community survey or they did it, whatever, I think it speaks louder than the art actually displays itself. Whether it be on the electrical boxes, on the side of a building, on a billboard, I think the art in DeKalb County and Chamblee tells a story of everybody that's come before us and everybody that's going to come after us. And I think the artists and the people in charge of it do a great way to embody that and pass that on to the community. And I think I always feel warm when I see art installations go up, because I think somebody or some group or something is being represented through that art. And so, in my opinion, it's just the art and the culture, the subtle culture that is sprinkled here and there in DeKalb County and Chamblee, that speaks for people that came before us and people that will remain here for many years to come, hopefully.
We had a great event a few months ago, the Bay Walls.
Yes.
So that was a phenomenal event with some unbelievable artwork. And
yeah.
then we brought in through the Arab Institute, the international artist El Cid, who did right across from City Hall, the mural there. That was a wonderful piece. And you had that beautiful sculpture right in front of MARTA now. That was just a few months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's growing and it's moving at the pace people want it to. And I think another one that I would say, it's also not one location, it's just the food.
Yeah.
So many
Options.
restaurants, so many options. I promise you, if you give yourself a month, you'll still not even chip at half of the things on DeKalb County and especially Beaver Highway. I have one favorite. My top favorite restaurant ever is in Chamblee. I'm biased, but I am a big Asian fan of food. Dish on Beaver Highway is my top 3 restaurants.
I know. I saw that. I'm trying to think of where it is.
I haven't been.
Dish is over there by Food Terminal.
Yes, right behind it.
Oh,
Yep. And
okay.
so
okay. That's a great place.
That
in
is a
general.
great
It's
comfort
just-
food.
Yeah, I love it.
For me, my mom, and my girlfriend, my mom worked a long time with Korean bosses, and so we love Korean food. We love Asian food, and I think that's in my top 3 ever. I just think you get that home feel cooking at any restaurant on Beaver Highway. If you take a look in DeKalb County, Beaver Highway, you don't see many chain restaurants. The smaller ones are fantastic. You can't go wrong with any of them.
And I can't wait for Dresden Park to be ready, because I think it's going to be amazing for a community. Like that space right there where it is, I think it was much needed at this point. And I really love the way Chamblee embraces the culture.
Right.
I know that you guys are working in a project related to immigrant stories, Monarch project, with an artist that it's supposed to create this piece of art and put some of the stories from our immigrants' families there. So I really appreciate the way that Chamblee works through, embracing our culture and the diversity in the city.
So what would you say? We'll make it easy. We'll go to food. Do you want to say
and
your
it's
favorite?
not Plaza Fiesta, because I really love, every option.
Well, let's
that
say
is there.
you're Argentinian, right?
No, I am Venezuelan.
Venezuelans, yes. I knew that.
Arepa
So
grill
what
is
would
so
you
good.
say is your favorite?
At least at Plaza, I have bias as well, but Arepa Grill is really good.
It is really good.
Because every time I'm there and I'm eating there, I feel that it's it's homemade to me. So the same taste, the same flavors. I really like Lee Bakery, and it's just
we talked
across
about
the
that
street.
beginning.
I cannot.
First time having soup for breakfast.
At Lee Bakery.
Yeah. And then when I was in China, I had soup every day for breakfast, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think for me personally, I am Mexican, but my family is from Oaxaca, state of Oaxaca, and so just having a restaurant that's Oaxacan cuisine in the city of Chamblee is perfect. And then there's a closer one in Doraville, so DeKalb County has it all, like we've been saying, and so Repa Grill has 2 locations, one in Plaza and then one in Doraville. It's just, if one is packed, just go to the other one.
I don't live in Chamblee. I live in Decatur, which is DeKalb County, and there is this Italian restaurant, really local, in Oakhurst, close to Oakview Street, and it's called Paolino. It's a very authentic Italian restaurant. It's one of my favorites. Just 7 minutes away from my house, so I love it, and I really love supporting local businesses. Because the customer service is great, the food is very authentic, and I think we need to promote that support to our local businesses, because sometimes, I don't understand sometimes why people keep going to the same places, because they are big chains or, big restaurants, but probably the food is not as good as, you're paying a lot of money, or the customer service is not good. Why you don't go to those local businesses that they are sometimes struggling to survive, and they are really, they're really good at what they do in terms of food and customer service. So Paolino is yes to me every time.
I have to check that one out. I have not been to that one.
Me neither have I.
Very nice place, very cozy, and the food is amazing.
Well, as we're closing, tell us again, how do they get information about you?
From me or from Plaza?
Plaza Fiesta.
If you want to check information from Plaza Fiesta, go to plazafiesta.net. You can find events. You can find the gallery from our past events, our future events, all the information related to marketing and social media on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Plaza Fiesta Atlanta. You'll find us there, and we are constantly posting and bringing really valuable information to everyone.
Well, I appreciate you all coming on. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Great to hear a lot of history and stories that I didn't know about. We can add to our documentary.
Yeah.
And welcome anytime.
Contact us. I mean, I will be happy to help you.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, and I know the city of Chamblee has a lot of people that do historical note taking and historical pictures and whatnot for our. We had a centennial project, and we have a couple people that live in the city of Chamblee and DeKalb County that have all this information already, and
Very
so they
cool.
do it as a hobby. So to get you.
We definitely need to get that information.
Yep.
Well, thank you all. Please tune into our next show.